Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel Broads on the Road.
So in this video, we thought we would talk to you about the first three trips that we've taken in our caravan.
Yeah,
We plan to bring you some site reviews in the future, but we haven't got any trips planned until the new year, unfortunately, because every weekend is busy with other things.
and we were late to the game, weren't we?
Yeah, we didn't know we were going to be getting a caravan until October, so we haven't booked anything up, and we're a bit late for the season. So we've booked in where we can, but we've got a few weeks now where we haven't got any trips.
Yeah.
So we thought we would talk to you about the first three trips that we have taken
Yep,
and the things that we learnt,
we've been a lot, haven't we?
things that went wrong.
I know, there's a few bits that went wrong. Uh, well, they're not wrong, they're learning points, aren't they? They're
Yeah.
learning points.
And we didn't do site reviews on our first three trips because we didn't decide that we were going to launch Broads on the Road until our third trip. And we'd had so much helpful advice from YouTube channels and watched
Yeah,
a lot of YouTube channels and thought that maybe we could help others who are new like us. So we didn't actually video much on our first three trips, but we have got some photos and we are going to talk you through
yeah.
what we did and where we
Our,
went.
our first trip after picking up the caravan was, how far is it from where we put the caravan up?
About 2 minutes down the road. So our first trip in the caravan was to Whitemead Forest Park in Park End in the Forest of Dean, Gloucestershire. And we picked up our caravan from Forest of Dean Caravans, which is a few hundred yards away from Whitemead Forest Park. And we go there. We've been there in the camper van, and we also go there quite often on a weekend to walk the dog. It's very near to us, probably our nearest campsite. So we decided that we would book in their
Would you call it a campsite? I mean, it's like a big holiday park.
holiday park,
Yeah.
really, with a campsite.
It's a holiday park that we I was down there on Sunday just walking the dog and going for a coffee. Like we go there all the time, don't we? I mean, it's brilliant. We love it.
So we'd originally planned to pick up the caravan and go to Whitemead, but they didn't have any spaces, did they, for that weekend? So we booked for the nearest weekend that we could, which was 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And then I think a couple of days before we were due to pick up the caravan, I just thought, oh, I will check the website, and they'd had a cancellation. So there was one spot available. So we decided that we would go on that first weekend. So we went down to Forest Dean Caravans on the Friday afternoon at the beginning of October.
Yeah, um that was when Storm Amy arrived, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a storm, and we had our handover meeting and headed straight down to Whitemead after the handover just to see if how everything worked, if we could work the caravan, if everything was okay. And we knew we were close by to Forest Dean Caravans if we needed any help with anything.
Yeah, because we were there and they'd hooked it up for us and taught us how to do it and do all that stuff, didn't we? So we didn't need to hook it up to the van. We hooked it up there and they showed us what to do.
Yeah. And they showed us all around the caravan, how everything worked,
Yeah.
and then yeah, helped us hook up, and then we were ready to go, and we were literally just going down the road, weren't we? So
Yeah.
we the towing really it didn't give us a particularly good kind of feel of towing because it was just such a short trip. But we arrived at Whitemead and we were able to do the unhooking. It was pouring with rain. It wasn't a very nice day. And we made our first mistake then, didn't we? We engaged the motor mover and everything, didn't we?
Yeah, when
And we started to move it and it was making a really strange noise, and then we realised we hadn't taken the handbrake off. So
yeah,
that was error number one. We didn't move it very far with the handbrake on, so we realised what the noise was, took the handbrake off.
and then we went back about 5 yards, 10 yards, and then the caravan went on the jockey wheel, didn't it? And
Yes,
I haven't tightened the jockey wheel up, and so it then I
and we were really unsure what to do then, weren't we? It was the caravan was sort of nose down.
so I yeah nose down, and I had to go and get the jack from the van and jack the front up a little bit so then I could get the jockey wheel down to then wind it back up. And then once we knew what we'd done, it was like, okay, we know to double check
We've
that.
never done that again. We've double checked it every time and made sure it's really tight. So
Yeah.
so they were our two mistakes really, weren't they? The handbrake and then the jockey wheel. But then the rest of it was pretty smooth. We got it on the pitch, and then we did all the steadies and everything. That was all fine. So we were sighted, we were in position, and
Yeah.
we unloaded everything into the caravan, and we'd packed up the van, a lot of things that we had already for the van to transfer into the caravan.
Oh yeah, yeah. 'Cause we had so much stuff because obviously we didn't obviously load the caravan up because we had all the stuff in there. But then we were only there for what, 45 minutes, and then we had to rush back because
So because we didn't know that we were going to be going to Whitemead, we had a lot of things at home that we needed to do that weekend. So we spent most of the weekend to-ing and fro-ing home
yeah,
to deal with the other commitments that we'd booked in. But so it wasn't a particularly restful weekend. It was quite stressful in that sense.
we
But we did really get a good go at using the caravan.
we used everything, didn't we?
We used everything. We also did the water system with PuraClean that weekend because Forest Dean Caravans had rinsed the water through but not sterilised it. So we did all of that, and we just found homes for things that we wanted to keep in the caravan in the cupboards and drawers, and used the water system, made sure everything was working in the kitchen,
Yeah.
got the heating working, worked out how to use the control panel.
But you get told all this stuff when you're picking up the caravan. And I was trying to listen to everything and obviously we watched like loads of YouTube videos and stuff, but it's not until you're right in the middle of doing it, you're like, what did they say about that bit? And then we were like, okay, we just need to work it out. Like you learn so much by just doing it. Well, my brain does. That's the way I work. But yeah, that first couple of days was the most was the bit we learned the most, wasn't it? And
Definitely. And it yeah, we didn't really make any major mistakes, but we'd not it was quite overwhelming. It felt like there was a lot to remember, a lot to learn.
yeah,
And we were quite nervous about the hitching up and unhitching because we'd not ever towed before.
no,
And it did seem like there was a lot to remember. And we felt like we kept getting the order wrong. So we'd do something and then think, oh no, we should have done that first. So especially with the setting up and packing down, we'd get to a point, and then realize, oh no, we need to do that before we can do that. So we said during that weekend, what we need is a really good list that we can follow now that we've had a go
mm,
and we've seen where we've made errors. When we get home, we're going to sit down, we're going to write a list of the step by step setting up and packing down because we know that we're going to forget the right order to do things in. So we didn't really do anything much at Whitemead that weekend, did we? We know the park really
no,
well. It wasn't about using the facilities there or really doing anything there. It was just about us getting to learn how to use the van. And I think that was the right thing to do. That was our focus. So then we stayed 2 nights, didn't we? And then on the Sunday morning, we packed up and we did our first, um, pack down of the caravan and hitching back up. And then we took the caravan to storage for the first time. And actually, that all went really smoothly. So hitching up when we left on departure and going to storage and getting the van into storage and all of that worked pretty well. We just had a bit of an issue in
mhm.
storage with getting the wheel in the right, getting the caravan in the right position because
But
we're in quite a tight space with the wheel in the right position for the wheel lock to be able to be put on. And then we had our second trip booked for 2 weeks later to Whitemead, which is the one we booked
yeah,
when we initially knew we were getting the caravan.
yeah,
So we decided we had thought about cancelling that one, but then we thought actually it would be really good to go again 2 weeks later,
yeah.
try out our list, actually put it into practice, see if we've got it right, and have a bit more of another weekend in the caravan again, somewhere where we know where we don't need to really do anything. It's just about using the caravan.
Yeah, we would do a proper review of Whitemead at some
because
point.
we're going again in January, aren't
Oh yeah,
we?
we'll
So
do.
we're going to do a proper review of the site because it is lovely. We do really like Whitemead. It's a really nice site. So we will do a proper site review for you. But we didn't when we went back the second time. And we did do a few things on the site. So we did Crazy Golf at Whitemead. They've got a mini golf, so we did that.
Yeah.
And they've got a few Halloween. They were building up towards Halloween, weren't they? So it was they've got some spooky stuff going on. We had a meal in the restaurant. We also did sort of proper cooking in the caravan. We used the oven and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
for the first time. I think
Yeah.
did we make pizzas that weekend? I can't remember now what we did, but we did some cooking in the caravan. Um, Yeah, and that trip went well. We went from home to storage. That was really smooth. We got down to Whitemead. We set up really well. We were really pleased. The list worked brilliantly. We made a few edits, but on the whole, we were happy with how that went. And then when we came to leave, it was pouring with rain again, wasn't it?
Oh
Absolutely pouring with rain.
yeah.
And we packed everything up okay. And we were ready to hitch up. And we moved the caravan with the motor mover out to hitch to the camper van, and then we hit a snag, didn't we? Where you explain what happened with it was the jockey wheel again.
Yeah. So the jockey wheels have got to be within the A-frame, um, because it's quite low to our van. And so when we dropped it onto the tow ball, it wouldn't click. So, but I also couldn't release the jockey wheel to get it because so I had to. At this point, we disengaged. We were like, "Oh yeah, it's on. Let's disengage the motor mover. Let's do all that stuff." And I was like, "Oh, we're gonna have to hook everything back up and then move the caravan back and then bring it forward so the jockey wheel is straight. So then actually it goes up into the A-frame, and it just kept catching on stuff that was in the way, and it was absolutely chucking down the rain, wasn't it?
Yeah, you've got to align the notches, haven't you, to be able to raise it up, and
Yeah,
it wasn't quite aligned, and it was where we were on a bit of an angle. And obviously, again, now we've made this error. We know now not to do that, and it
yeah,
needs to be straight with so that it will go up in the A-frame. But yeah, we couldn't seem to get it right in the right position to be able to raise the jockey wheel, and I think because it was pouring with rain as well, we were getting drenched. It just made the whole thing quite stressful. So that
yeah,
that was a really sort of stressful moment. Like, what on earth have we done? This is really hard. Um, but then once you'd sort of worked out the issue and what we needed to do, we were able to sort it out, and then actually get into storage, putting the caravan away was all fine, wasn't it?
yeah. That's fine. Yeah, we got to storage. We put it away. That was easy, wasn't it?
That was
Really?
much easier. We knew what to do with getting it in position and being able to put the wheel lock on. So we sort of learnt that bit of it.
Yeah.
And then we had another couple of weeks sort of break, and then in half term, October half term, we decided that we wanted to go a little bit further afield, just really to test out a bit more of the towing. But we managed to get in at the Caravan and Motor Home Club site at Tewkesbury Abbey.
Yeah, I think it was the
Um,
last weekend, wasn't it?
it was their last weekend that they were open before they closed for the winter, and I think they didn't have any hard standing pitches. They
No.
only had grass, which we've learned that in the winter we probably wouldn't. We're not going to do a grass pitch again, but we really wanted to go somewhere. We wanted to be nearish to home, but
Yeah, having the caravan and it being near the end of autumn, near winter, and having a dog on grass. No, we're not doing that again.
yeah, that was quite hard work, wasn't it? Trying to keep the caravan clean with the dog coming in and out over the grass, and it was wet and muddy. Um, but we
The site was great though, wasn't
the
it?
site was lovely. We
Walked into
we hooked up easily at
yeah,
storage, didn't we? We had no issues.
yeah,
We followed our list. We got to Tewkesbury Abbey. We'd not used a caravan and motorhome club site before. It was our first experience of one of those, and we were really impressed with The wardens were really helpful.
Yeah.
The arrival was really smooth. Um, we chose our pitch and got ourselves onto the pitch. That was all fine.
Yeah, they did
And yeah,
great.
it was a really lovely site, and we really enjoyed the caravan for the first time that weekend. It wasn't, we knew a bit more what we were doing, we knew how to work everything, and it was all about just enjoying the experience then, and that gave us a more of a taste of what it's really going to be like, and
Yeah, we
we
didn't have
really
jobs
liked
to do,
it.
did we? Like stuff to.
We didn't have jobs and maintenance bits to do on the caravan like the previous two trips, and we were a bit more confident with the caravan, I'd say.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we'd kind of got everything we needed because we'd had those test trips. Yeah, and we had a lovely time. So we it was Halloween, so um we went. You're very close to Tewkesbury. You can walk into the town from the site. So on the first evening, we walked into the town, had a meal,
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
came back to the caravan, and just sort of chilled at the caravan in the evening.
yeah.
And then on the first day, we went and they had the Museum of the Moon exhibition at Tewkesbury Abbey, which we went to.
Mm.
That was really lovely to see that. And we went up into the town again, had a coffee. We did a walk along the river with the dog. Um, and then we went back to the caravan and we made cookies because it was Halloween. So we made Halloween cookies in the caravan in the oven.
We walked around the caravan site doing trick or treating, didn't we?
Yeah, went trick or treating around the
Mm.
site. Or a lot
So
of the caravan, we decorated our caravan a bit, didn't we?
we did reverse trick or treating. So we took sweets along and not sometimes like trick or treat, but gave them sweets instead of us taking sweets.
And we had some people come and do the same at our van, which was really nice. And then yeah, and then we had a movie night, didn't we, in the caravan, and
Oh
just sort of
yeah.
enjoyed spending time in it really, and it was lovely, really cozy, really comfy.
Yeah,
And then when we went home, the hitching back up and leaving the site was really smooth, really, really good. So we were delighted with that side of it. We felt that we practiced a bit, we knew what we were doing, and that worked really smoothly. We used our list again, and the list was great. So we have got our list available. We're going to put it in the description, a link in the description to the list,
yeah.
two lists. So feel free to use them, edit them. They're just how we've done it. We're not saying that that's the right way or the best way, but it's
So we've got it on our I don't know iPhones. We've got iPhones, but we've got it on our notes. So every time you do something, and we share it between us, so we collaborate, whatever it's called. And every time you do something, you press it, and then it strikes it off. So then you know it's done. So
yeah,
that, but also like the uh, the hitching up bit. We both do that bit. We both like. Okay, no, I want you to check. No, I want you to check. I'm sure that over time we'll be more confident and we'll just.
we'll share it probably. But we
But
made the decision, didn't we, to do everything together for the first few trips so that we can both learn how to do it all and also sort of check that each other are doing it right and be confident to do the whole setup and pack down. Okay, so um
we'll put the lists.
we'll put the list, yeah, in the description. So if you want to use our list, feel free. And as I say, edit it. We're not saying that's the right way to do it, but that's just the way we've done it. And it seemed to work. But you may find an easier way or a quicker way. Um, yeah. And
And if there's anything we've missed on it, then let us know. Because
yeah, let us know if you'd add anything to your list, then yeah, do let us know. That would be interesting to see.
here are our top tips for your first trip.
So the first tip is to stay local on your first trip. You don't want the stress of having to travel too far, and also it's great to be close to home if you've forgotten anything and you need to go back to get it, or if anything's not working or goes wrong.
Tip number 2, make a list. This is for your setting up and your packing down order, the order you want to do stuff, and the order you think that is going to work best for you.
Tip number 3 is to take your time. Make sure you've got plenty of time and you don't need to rush and feel stressed as you're learning how to use your new caravan.
Tip number 4 is get to know your caravan. Don't plan too much on your first trip. Just spend the time in your caravan, get to know it, relax, and remember to have some fun.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!